Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. I need to put some material there to put the snaps into so that this can snap onto it. And I want to anchor it solidly, but I need to leave room. You know, I could just clamp that down, but then I'd never be able to get anything inside there. So I'm thinking I want to add some material onto here that I can cover this with and rivet it on, because the only way to sew this thing would be to sew it completely, you know, using the machine. I could sew it by hand with a hand awl, and that might be a thing that I want to do, but for right now I'm thinking I want to glue it and rivet it. This is a good solid piece of leather. It's not perfect by a long shot, but then neither is this. This styrofoam works out well as a modeling sheet. It also lets me cut the leather without getting into the bench, because it's the liner for a medication that my wife gets. So having it, you know, we get it all the time. If I use up this one, I've got more. One of those miracles of modern science that has to be kept cold. And this knife is really nice. It lets me guide the blade easily and push it away from myself. It makes cutting a straight line fairly easy. There. Now let's see. I want to have this about here. Give it a good surface to catch a hold of. Give myself a little bit to trim off there. There we go. The left on there. We'll just cut that off square like that. A little harder surface. This is a nice surface for a workbench too. I clamp it into the jaws. Clamp it into the jaws of the vise, either this vise or the big iron vise over on the other bench. And it gives me a table that I can beat up, don't care about, because all it is a piece of plywood held on with a couple of screws. But being able to clamp it in the vise jaws means that this stays relatively flat and doesn't move around on me. And like I said, it's replaceable. About there's right. Now, since I have a screw with some depth to it, and I really want to grab a hold of this and hold it well, I want to make two of these. One for the inside, in here, and one for the outside, so that I can hold them together, then use this screw to clamp it together. Have this on the inside, the head of the because I have a hole here and I want to use these type of snaps, I want to have something on the inside to grip the back side of this hole, and then something on the outside to grip the outside, like this. That way I can put a hole through it and use the clamping force of this screw going through this stamped nut to draw the two together, and that'll make it much more secure. And I'll still have all the opening in here to allow the drill motor to slide up in there, and I'll be able to support this outside, which is a weak point. At least that's the plan. So this goes in here. Just a little proud of the edge, so I got something to trim off there to keep everything looking nice. Then another one out here using this edge. Takes it down to there. Yeah, that's going to work. Okay, I'm going to punch this hole after I get this one glued up. I just needed to have a place to mark that. Then I'll use this to snap on there and then guide the position of the second snap with this one. That way I'll make sure I've got it. If I try and drill both of them, I'm going to be wrong. I'm going to make a mistake. It's too easy to make a mistake doing it that way. So I'll put one hole through there that I've laid out from that hole, and I'll use that to clamp one screw, and then once I've got it clamped up, I'll put the other one in. Okay, let's see how we do. And you need to pierce a hole. There we go. Funny how you don't use something for a little while, you forget how it works. And it's such a simple thing. Well, that's going to draw it together good. Okay, now I can tuck that in there. Leaving that one pulled through. Bring the holster up. Screw that through again. Now just check and make sure everything's going to look right. Yeah, that's centered. Okay. Now, I put the glue on this, slide it in there, put the glue on that, set it on top, fasten the two together, and we're all good. But let's try a dry fit first, just to make sure things are going to go. Once you got the glue on, it seems like everything goes kind of sideways on you. Oh, that's going to work. That's going to be perfect. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. and it has it attached. I'm just going to put some clamps on that and let that sit. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Let that glue set before I go yanking around on this patch that I've glued on here. Make sure I got everything all fixed up. I decided to go with a clamp because it makes it go flatter. Makes it for a better contact on the whole surface. Could use some more oil on it too. It's better than it was, but it needs another coat. So probably tomorrow I will come down and finish putting the last screw in it, trim this off, and then put another coat of neat's foot oil on it. Well, a whole lot of experimentation went into that one. I was trying to figure out how I was going to make these parts, which are not designed for what I'm doing with them, do what I want them to do. I think I was successful. The snap is going to secure itself very well. This brace up here at the top, this extra piece of leather on the back of it with the stitching and the glue, is going to do very well. And once again, the vice grip pulls me through. It lets me get all the way across the whole patch and put a good clamp all the way across the whole surface of it so that it contacts completely with the leather of the holster itself. So I'm very happy. Some days you just get it right. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.